See, mine was when I was at a CBS upfront party and Morgan Freeman walked right up next to me and he goes, "If it isn't very special agent DeNose." And I was like, which now just sounds shallow compared to yours.
That was a great Morgan Freeman.
No, are you kidding me? But that's like the greatest thing ever. See, you've had more interactions with celebrities. I'm usually like,
That's because I go running up to them.
The Delta Airlines.
I'm like, Taylor Swift, Travis, do you watch NCIS? It's the movie podcast. Are you ready?
Oh my God.
That's the intro right there.
That's it. Cut the...
Michael, Cody, thank you both so much for sharing your time with us today on the show. We're such big fans of yours. And this is just, we're just so grateful you're in Toronto.
But I think we're missing a key ingredient to it.
You're right.
Toronto welcome.
You're right. Let's do it. Let's do it. So we got to cover.
You guys.
You're rocking it well?
Yeah, we're ready for this interview.
This is very. I had a little
just slight tear. I noticed.
An emoji with a little tear on it.
That's it.
That one.
All positive though.
All positive. I mean, like we got
all out of love.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, can I?
No.
No.
3 bars only. That's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah,
That's
perfect. We got these at Comic-Con, and we saw you guys there too, and it was such a amazing reception that happened there. Like everyone was going.
Which one did you go to?
San Diego.
Okay, because we just did New York.
You did New York. Yeah, I forgot about the time difference there. But yes, that's crazy. And you guys were killing it. Everyone was having such a great time.
Yeah, it was.
Especially us.
I know.
Especially us. No, because we were having a great time. I mean, we got to tell funny stories and we got to laugh, and it was kind of. It's the thing that we do.
And it's interesting because when you're making the thing, you don't really get to think about or talk about the thing. So, part of it is just, you're
too close to it.
And you don't want to curse it or you don't want to make it whatever. But then when you get a little distance on it and then you realize that people they have opinions. They're like, yeah, I don't know, episode 8. I mean, I wasn't my fave, but I was in the airport yesterday and I got a full rundown from somebody, bless you, who was like bringing me right through it, like the Tali episode 6, just her in the house.
Episode. That was such a great hit.
Yeah,
everyone loves that episode.
And so the fan that I was talking to yesterday, and the Delta Airlines, thank you very much for bringing the Tony and Ziva ads all over the airports.
Love it.
But I was like, get ready, because the last 2 episodes of the season are directed by Dennis Smith, who directed more episodes of The Mothership than any other director and is our close friend.
Very close.
And he's the guy who understands the connection, not just the funny bits, but the...
Inception.
The kismet bits.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. And so we have that to, I can't wait for people to see it.
We're almost there. We're almost there. And we're definitely going to talk about episode 6 in just a little bit, but we wanted to ask you both, since you have been at a few different, fan events, Comic-Cons this year, what has been your favorite fan moments throughout the entire run of NCIS?
Oh gosh.
God. First of all, we've had a lot of those, which is the reason I think Michael and I really wanted to make the show, because in many ways it's a love letter to the fans. A lot of questions had to be answered, and we had this great opportunity that Paramount Plus gave us to be able to tell the story in this fabulous and free way, which is what we wanted. But I've had moments at restaurants, a lot of moments in restaurants actually. I had a fabulous woman who worked at a hotel in Tuscany. And she said, I am such a huge fan. And I said, oh, thank you so much. And she was like, what are you doing Tuesday night? And I said, well, it was like maybe like Sunday. And I said, well, I don't know yet. I'm going to be here. And she said, well, we, meaning like the hotel staff, wants to work on their day off and prepare a meal for you. And I said, what? I mean, obviously, you're not going to say no. You know what I mean? It's like the most beautiful thing that anyone, if you like cooking, right. I like cooking.
And
it's the most beautiful thing.
In Tuscany,
right.
What I didn't know, and this is the part that I went, oh my God. They closed the restaurant. They set it up. They made they woke up in the morning. They picked the fresh fish, the seafood. They gave us the most beautiful meal. Everything was paid out of their own money, just to be able to say, thank you for entertaining us. And stuff like that happens all the time. It's the most beautiful thing.
That is so beautiful. See, mine was when I was at a CBS upfront party and Morgan Freeman walked right up next to me and he goes, "If it isn't very special agent DeNose." And I was like, which now just sounds shallow compared to yours.
That was a great Morgan Freeman.
No, are you
Say
kidding
that.
me? But that's like the greatest thing ever. See, you've had more interactions with celebrities. I'm usually like I
That's because I go running up to them.
The Delta Airlines.
That's
I'm like, Taylor Swift, Travis,
Do you know me? Do you know me?
do you
Do you
watch
know-
NCIS?
No. I traveled incognito, and by that I mean like I draw no attention to myself with a little backpack and a juicer. I did it for years after I quit the show. And that was like the greatest thing that I could have ever given myself. Like just a little break to kind of experience the world. And there was no frills about it. I'd stay at Airbnbs or like really, like little hotels right by the beach that had no, there was no element of elegance or exuberance and nothing. It was just,
A very Ziva David kind of place to stay.
yeah. But also very Cody, like
Very
I
good.
love,
Well, there is some, some
like a little
twinning.
window and a little, the ocean.
Practicing your throwing stars into the
That's all you
Not at
need.
all. Not at
That's
all.
all you need.
But very little clothing and,
Okay, all right. That's why it's on streaming.
that's really,
Clothing.
Right.
That's why you got to pay.
back then, by the way, I'm not talking now. Now it's a different world.
Right. Definitely.
We just start.
Right. Definitely.
No.
Right. I get you.
You got it right away. Absolutely. We're gonna start the season also with this really cool car chase. Like, through
Oh, yes.
that must have been so much fun. What was the experience like for you?
So it was interesting because we shot that last. We shot it in February, and we started production in July. But it was absolutely
Car sequence.
the car chase in the very beginning when
Yeah.
Tony
Oh,
drives through the
yeah.
streets and everything. Well, it was introduced because McNamara, the writer, who's just fantastic, figured out after looking at a cut of the first episode, and we were making subsequent cuts and trailers and all this stuff, and he thought, we really need to see like something kind of fun right after the top, because the very beginning is Donoso jumps through the window and you see them and she looks absolutely smashing in the wedding gown and you think it's going to be a wedding, and then we get the rug pull and we establish like, oh, wait, what's happening? And there's a flashback. So it was, rather than let you think too much about it, it's like, rah, 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 there's money being stolen, there's a car chase through the thing. Did you notice it was a stick shift that he's driving? So he's grinding through the gears on the thing, which is
Very European.
very
European,
long.
yeah.
Very European.
That's
I
very.
was going to say, that's not America.
I loved doing that, and I have to say that Melissa did with the Stubbs did a great art stunt
Canadian.
coordinator. And I had worked with her on Dark Angel all these years ago when you boys were not around.
And by the way, that was directed by Mercy Elmas. Canadian.
Oh yes,
That's a lot of Canadian.
I love the
Yeah, absolutely.
It's your first time in Toronto, is it not?
Yes, it is.
And how are you liking it?
I'm loving it, actually.
that's perfect.
I wish I had a couple of more days to really see it, but I was pulling up in the car and I was like, look at that lake. It is
Lake
massive.
Ontario.
It is the ocean? No, what, and so I was like Googling all this stuff as I was coming in, because we've been doing now press for a couple of months, and we've been, we went to Italy, we were in Milan, we were in Rome, then we went to Berlin, then I went to
San Diego,
Berlin. We went to San Diego.
New York, several
Then
times.
New York several times. Then we're going to Australia. We're here in Toronto. So we've been doing a lot of traveling. And what happens sometimes, and I was just telling Michael, in today's world, we're so used to the phones and, so I said to him, as I was, coming in from the airport into Toronto, at one point, I literally had to go, put that thing away and just look out the window. And that's when I literally did this. And then I went, a lake!
Right.
But if you don't stop it with the stupid thing,
Yeah,
you're gonna miss life.
that's true. Very true.
It's a good lesson.
I'm like, are you holding phones right
No.
now?
I don't even have a
paper.
phone. No,
It's just paper.
just
No,
pigeons.
But it's a good lesson, and I wanted to talk about episode 6 when you were talking to Tali
Yeah.
about, you're giving her like the real, like, listen, I had to fight from a young age. I don't want the same thing for you. So was it like exploring like motherhood through Ziva in like this season of the show?
I think I'm a mother, so I think as a mother, and certainly you as a dad, and we've had conversations about this. You you try to sort of correct things so you could be the best version of yourself. So you don't take whatever it is that you've gone through, which could be traumatic or certainly, influence the upbringing of a child in a detrimental way. You try to, if you have the awareness, and certainly I was an older parent. So that was the greatest thing about being an older parent is that, my God, I get this wonderful thing, this child, and I get to try to be constantly the best parent I can be, the best version of myself,
But also show the flaws, because that's something that's really a beautiful thing when you have, if you don't mind my talking about it, but you are an extraordinary actress and performer in that you are not vain. So you're not, and I don't just mean about looks, like Cody doesn't want to do a scene and behave in a way so people will like her character more. And I know that maybe sounds like, who would do that? Believe me, there's a lot of people who are worried about perception on all different kinds of levels. And one of the most beautiful things you do is you come in and treat this role as like, I am a mother and this is my responsibility and this is the thing. And man, sometimes you're on set and you're like, it cuts right to the, it's true.
And we've had a couple of scenes that have been like intense, the scene with the apple where she goes in. I mean, you could think all sorts of things about like the character of Ziva and like, my God, what has she gone through and what is this? But in order to get to that moment, which could be a little bit of like, whoa, where's the character going? You have to also understand where they come from. And then you have to have a little bit of, a little bit of compassion for that place too.
Right.
I think all of us have a little bit of crap that, we've gone through in life. And I think the best way is just to be honest.
Yeah, it's like sometimes our characters aren't nice to each other. And neither of us is particularly concerned with how that might appear to the audience. I always think of like Quentin Tarantino talked about, I don't think about the audience. I think about like what I want to see, and I will write what I want to see, and then I just assume like that's what I wanted. So we play the scene, the truth of what the scene is, and we might have a writer or a director or somebody else go in and it's like, actually, we'd really like you to do this, and Cody and I are like, okay, great. Bye. And then we do it, sort of our way, taking on board, of course, all the beautiful construction that goes into making these shows. But at a certain point, when you're surfing the wave, it's your wave. And we both like to surf a little bit.
Love that. Yeah.
Point Break reference.
Keanu.
Sorry.
No, Canadian.
Denozo is like a constant movie reference factory.
Well, that's the best thing for us. Well, we're so excited to finally get to the end of this series because it's going to be crazy. I think fans are very excited for it too. And you guys are so awesome. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I love what you guys do.
Oh, thank you. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, you're
very, very, very.
And we were talking about Liz Taylor. I mean, talk about Liz Taylor eyes. Did you see that?
That's this guy right here.
We were just like talking about Liz Taylor, literally. And then all of a sudden you walked in, you walked in and I was like, the first thing I clocked, we're like, oh my God, it's like she just came in the room.
Thank you. I'll ride that eye for the rest of the show.
Channel your Liz Taylor.
Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Amazing.